Well, we're just going to do a quick one here for you. Just keep everybody up in the loop here. It's not Friday. I know, kind of doing this a little early. But I moved the cocoa. Said goodbye. We moved it actually here. I'm going to do it in its own open space, not in the tent, under dual CFLs. For those of you that are trying to figure out other lights and alternatives to grow, these CFLs, they work a dream. If you run a 6500 Kelvin and a 3500 Kelvin or a 2500 Kelvin together, side by side, it gives them a full spectrum. The ratio for your 6500 Kelvin is no different than running a metal halide. Mixing that with the spectrum of the high pressure sodium gives them a full spectrum, and they actually take very well to it. I actually started before I got all this fancy equipment and everything. Sorry, I'm gonna shut that fan off because it's like literally blowing on my phone. Yes, you noticed I've actually low stress trained these. This one I just did. It hasn't exactly developed very much, but this one I did a couple of days ago. And you can see where the ties are. And it shows you how much they've grown. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to pull this down and tie it down again. And then these, we're going to tie these down. And what's going to do is it's going to force them to grow vertical. So they're going to grow vertical, and all these little branches that are starting to grow out are going to shoot up, and when they shoot up, then we're going to tie them down. But tomorrow, I'm going to go get all my supplies for my scrog. So these guys will have a scrog sit roughly about that high above them, and we're going to scrog them. I'm going to leave them in here as long as it takes for me to fill the scrog with 2 plants, and we are going to fill that scrog. Every single hole in that scrog. I do not want to see canopy underneath it, and this is exactly what I'm going for. Once the scrog is full, then we add the second layer, which will be 8 inches apart from the bottom layer. That scrog that is underneath, that is full, is going to grow up into the second canopy, and we're going to repeat the process. We're going to grow it as long as we possibly can to fill that second scrog. Once the second scrog is pretty damn close to full, we're going to flip it to flower. And then the fun begins. Then you'll see what I'm talking about. Buds will grow high enough that they will rest on the 3rd tier. That's exactly what we want. So this will enable the use of needing strings, or yo-yos as people like to use. I personally don't like having all those strings running around in my tent. I like to be able to reach over my canopy, feel my buds, check and see if there's any bugs or any of that stuff, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I've actually looked into getting another light. This is a 600 watt cool tube, and it runs through here. So when I get another one, we're going to put them side by side vertical. So they're going to run from front to back, side by side. I'm going to run a 6-inch loop around the vent to connect both lights, and then the other vent will go out, up into that vent up there. So in, out. No longer using this one as an out. The white one on the back that's holding my thermostat, which you can actually see the temperature in here. Temperature sits at 26.5 all the time. That never changes. That is what I'm comfortable with. That's what it stays at. That white tube that it's strapped to brings cold air in from outside to act as, say, an air conditioner in the summertime. So I prefer to grow indoors in the winter because the element of cold that's outside lacks me the hydro to have to run an air conditioner. So as you can see, these guys are loving it. this guy. We'll check up on Friday and see how he's doing. But quick 5-minute video. Figured I'd let you know what I'm doing. Keep y'all intact. Try it out. If this system turns out, I have 2 more of these buckets. I'm going to build a full recirculating system in my next series. But this series, we're going to worry about these ladies. Remember, we still haven't checked to see what sex they are. So we still don't know if these are males or females. That's going to be crucial. That is what I think I'm going to try and check, because I do not want to grow these guys out to be that big and they're males. That would make me so mad, because then I'd have to start all over again and end up with no medicine. So I think I'm going to bring in the other 2 buckets I have, drill them, prep them, and set them up, and then I think we'll go through the strains on Friday. Figure out what we're going to do for the next 2. But for now, sit with this one. Hope you enjoy. Like, subscribe, comment, pass it on. Shout outs to Joshua. You know who you are. Louisiana boy. Hope you enjoyed.